Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Yeah.
What is up? Welcome. A little program I like to call Run It Back. Will, Chandler P. My name is Michelle. Why am I so bright? And you like this is crazy.
Beadle, what's your middle name?
Denise.
Okay.
What's yours?
Ty.
Ty. Lewis Ty.
Rome.
It's not Lewis?
Tyrone.
Oh, Tyrone.
Yeah.
Is it wrong?
But
all names Tyrone.
All my names get cut short. Lewis, Lou.
Yeah, you really
Tyrone,
have.
Ty.
Lewis,
I'm
Tyrone.
gonna call you Lou Ty.
Will.
Oh yeah. What is your problem with that?
I don't know. Just
Big abbreviate guy.
What's your middle name?
Evan.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah. Denise is dope.
I didn't pick it. But it's better than it could have been. Guys, we had some basketball.
We had some games.
We had some games last. It was a lot actually going on. How about this one? Orlando out here in Los Angeles. This is a big win for the Magic. Banchero, Carter Jr. It's a 110-109. Heck of an ending. Paolo finishes with 36, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Luka, 22.
Man.
He was 8 of 24. 2 of 10 from 3, 15 assists. It was a fourth quarter that you can remember. The layup is what gave them the win, the Magic on the road, which is a big deal. There's like some crazy stat about them beating both the Clippers and Lakers. Hasn't been done in over a decade. However, there was a chance for the Lakers to win this thing. Luka deferred to LeBron, and this is what everybody's talking about this morning for the game winner. It's not a great deferring, if you ask me. Weird that he passed it up, Chandler.
Yeah, and weirder afterwards how he says, I know I was open, but I just thought I was a little bit far when we've seen this dude hoist three-pointers from the logo. Listen,
This is a blown coverage. Look at Banchero.
Yeah, look, first of all,
or Black. Let that go.
First of all, Anthony Black needs to switch out on the other side. I imagine they're switching everything with that short of clock. And interesting play how they all kind of ran up there, like it was confusing. It was like almost like a football play here. And then look, you can't ask for a better look here. First of all, shoot it now. Then off the dribble, shoot it again. So this, I think,
and he burnt his dribble.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking here, but obviously this was just a mental lapse for Luka. He's got to take that shot. The play worked in theory, even though they just kind of blew the coverage. But you can't ask for a better look for your best player to get that wide open at the end of the game. He's got to take the shot.
Absolutely.
That seems to be the overall consensus, Lou.
Yeah, he just had a lapse, as you can see, and I pointed out it was a blown coverage. We've seen him shoot the ball from half court with a smile on his face. The only thing that I can think of, there was 5 or 6 seconds left on the clock. If you shoot a deep three with that much time on the clock, you probably can weigh your options there if you're Luka. But all in all, you got the ball in your best player's hands on that team. You gotta put it towards the rim, and you can't burn your dribble. And so this is a rare occurrence that we see from Luka. I'm sure he'll learn from it and make his adjustments. He'll probably come out the next game and shoot the first 5 shots will probably be 30-footers. You know what I mean, to kind of get that off of his back. But yeah, just a lapse in judgment, and it didn't go his way.
Yeah, and this game was awesome. First of all,
this is
it
like
was
a
back and
fun
forth. Like the energy, it was electric. I didn't know who was gonna win till literally the Magic won the game. And again, to have a timeout to get this type of look from your best player, it just he's definitely wants this one back because he was wide ass open.
There's some more Luka talk that we will get to, but we do want to kind of concentrate on the Magic for a second. They did win the game after all, and we started preseason into the season. High expectations for Orlando based on sort of what we saw from them last year. And it's been a roller coaster, Lou, I think, to say the least. However, 6 of 8 is what they've won right now. They're only 2.5 games back of the 5 seed. Maybe we wrote them off a little too early. Maybe that's probably good for them. Maybe that's a motivation. But now when you watch them, what are you seeing?
They're playing really good basketball. And you can take a win. You can take a win like that and use it as momentum, or you can take the road trip that they were just on. They went 3 out of 4 on the West Coast, beating both LA teams, and going out and getting one in sack as well, losing to only the Phoenix Suns on that trip.
Bad.
When you go on these trips on the West Coast or in a different conference, and you can come home and feel pretty good about that trip, and knowing you got a home swing coming up, that's what confidence is to the Orlando Magic. So it was great to see them get this win, and like you said, they can turn it around, but it's going to be a committee of games. Now, I'm sitting here looking at their schedule. They got Houston, Detroit, Washington, Dallas, Minnesota, Milwaukee, and Cleveland coming up in their next 8.
Okay.
I think they can go out and get 4 or 5 of these. Now, if they can come out of that and be successful, I think that's where you see a real confidence swing and where they can really look at the season and say, hey, we're moving in the right direction where we can genuinely turn this thing around. So that's a great start. They're headed home. I'm sure they're back in Orlando by now already. So that's a good sign for them. It's a great win.
And last night, obviously, no Wagner, no Suggs. Wagner's only
Right.
played 26 or 28 games this year, so that hurts. So they haven't really been completely whole. And I think just they gave us a little bit, of success last year. We
saw it.
thought they were going to make the big jump, and obviously, unfortunately, they've got off to a slow start. But we're starting to see flashes, right? And a lot of that comes down to Paolo Banchero, who's kind of struggled early, picking his spots, not in the best way, kind of picking up his dribble, almost looking hesitant. Last night, he was decisive. He didn't settle. He got downhill. He was aggressive. He got to the free throw line. Like, that is the version that we need to see of him. Use that size, use that length that he has, because he's so much stronger than pretty much every night than the guy that's guarding him. So the Magic, they go and get Desmond Bane, which on paper looked perfect. They're still 24th in three-point shooting, so they don't have enough.
That's weird.
They lack shooting. He's really their only sniper. But I think we're going to start.
When he gets
seeing
hot,
this.
he gets hot. But yeah.
And he's been great. He could have been an all-star this year. Like, he has been a great pickup for them. I do think they need to add more shooting, just the style of play that they play with Wagner, with Banchero. They're easy to pack the paint on and limit kind of their options. But I think we're going to see their best basketball, because even when their offense is not going, they can defend, and Jamal Mosley's a heck of a coach.
Let me ask you this, because Kendrick Perkins said that Paolo Banchero is the biggest disappointment of any player this season. By the way, that's a tough sentence to have to hear. But then he has games like what we just saw. Does that sort of squash that argument, like we're on our way?
Yeah, I think he's upset with his play just overall.
Yeah.
And even early on, you hear the rumors of Mosley possibly getting fired and the relationship disconnect there. Paolo Banchero is the #1 pick, rookie of the year, absolute stud max player, and he's going to continue to get better. I just think he needs to find his way offensively. I do think that will do him wonders, like I said earlier, to surround him with more shooting. But listen, if 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists is the most disappointing player in the year, I think he can sleep well with that.
And he's not settling anymore. I think earlier in this season, he was playing too much off the dribble, settling for long jump shots or trying to create off the dribble. Instead, now he's playing bully ball. He's using his size. As you can see in those clips we just watched, everything was shoulder action. He's shouldering guys, getting to his spots. He's laying the ball up, either dunking it, or everything else is going to be 8 to 10 feet from the rim, or I'm going to shoot wide open three-pointers as opposed to contested ones. And so that's a young player that's still finding ways to adjust his game, that's going to rig the game up to be successful for him. So I love that. I love the fact that he's using his size more opposed to being off the dribble and trying to play into traffic like Chandler just mentioned. If you're going to play in traffic, at least do it with your back to the basket, or where somebody either going to foul you, you're going to get a layup, or you're going to get a dunk.
And think about, we're comparing the other young, really good teams are San Antonio and Oklahoma City, right?
Sure.
This team is really, really young. Desmond Bane's 27 years old. He's like the vet on their team. You look at guys like De Silva. You look at guys like, Anthony Black. They have so much potential here, too, that they just need to build around. I think they strongly need to add more shooting, but they are going to be here for years to come, competing and playing at a high level.
Let's head back to this Lakers side of things. They've lost 4 of 6. They're now in that 6th seed. There was a lot of hope and dreams for when Austin Reeves returned, that things would kind of get back on track and be what they were going to be. And however, it doesn't seem that way with all 3 guys in the lineup. So I'm wondering, Lou, what is it? The Suns are right there with them at this point. You're right behind them. Yeah, there you go. Is there a possibility we're looking at Lakers as a play-in?
Well, it's go time. It's definitely go time. They got about 25 more games left, and they're 2 games out of the play-in right now based on the standings. And so if they can't find a rhythm on the offense or the defensive end, they're looking at a sticky situation. And this is a Lakers team that looks like their defense, it goes as if their offense goes. If they don't have great offensive nights, or if it's not easy looks for them, or they can't play in transition, it affects the way that they play defense. And if they're going to be that style of basketball team, it's not going to work for them. They've already shown in the half court that they're not the greatest defensive team, and they're going to need help. So in that case, they got to score the basketball at a high clip. So are we looking at Luka turning down game winners and these things, and they're going to be a highly offensive team? They got a lot of things they got to clean up, or they are going to find themselves in a position where they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot opposed to a guaranteed one.
Yeah, they're so dependent on their offense that when it is slowed down in the half court and they can't get stops, it's going to be tough for them to win games and win a series when when you're a bottom half, defensive team. I think they're 23rd, 24th in defense. They can't get stops. So yes, they're going to always have a chance because they do have Luka and LeBron James and like Austin Reeves last night. It was a tale of two different halves. I think he had 0 in the first half, then just easily goes and gets 18 in the second half. Like, if they're rolling offensively, which they usually are, they're still a tough out and a tough beat. But man, they got to find a way to get stops. And with this roster, this makeup of their team, they don't really have those guys. Yeah, I like adding Kennard at the deadline. He doesn't really do anything defensively for them, but shooting-wise and spacing the floor, he helps. But this team's going to struggle majorly getting stops.
By the way, they still, with just the 25 or so games left, they still have to play the Rockets, Thunder, Nuggets, Warriors twice each. So that's still a bit of a little.
Well, at least they get the Warriors twice.
Well, I mean, that's not always a given, by the way. Zach Lowe, get in the car, buddy. I'm going to make some room for you. Buckle up your seatbelt because he's getting it. It is becoming unwatchable to watch Luka at times. That's according to Zach Lowe because it's the constant complaining. Their own play-by-play guys were like, please stop whining because you are missing defensive moments that you need to be in that are very costly, Chandler. And I don't think you're changing who Luka is as a person. So what are we going to do here? Because the Lakers, it's not just him, by the way. J.J. Redick called Monty McCutcheon after a goaltending situation the other day. They were blown out by 22 points, and he was hung up on this one particular call by the refs. So they're very infatuated with ref stuff. Like, that's a problem.
Yeah, the Luka stuff, it's not good, and it's exhausting. Just from a standpoint of watching, it's got to be exhausting from an effort getting back on defense. Like, I remember when I'd play my coaching staff, if I even looked at the ref and had a split second of not getting back on defense, it was rewound and showing, because you're worried more about what happened individually than the team and getting back on defense. This happens all the time for a guy like Luka, and I don't think it's going to stop because, again, like you said, he's 26 years old. This is almost who he is, and he plays very passionately, and he's got fire, and he cares. But he's got to find a way to control this a little bit because it's a bit exhausting for a player of his talent and his level, especially a guy that's a foul baiting type of guy, which is a talent now, just like SGA is, just like Jalen Brunson. That's not even a knock to me anymore. But the fact that you go hunting contact a lot of the time and you go to try and get the foul, and then you complain when you
cry about
don't. Like, it's a little eye-rolly. So I do understand what Zach Lowe is saying here, and just as like a fan of the game, you don't want to just constantly watch that. And as a ref, it's got to also be obnoxious that this guy's just riding me all game long.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's becoming a thing. Like, Luka's so good at basketball, we should be talking about this.
It's been a thing, but now when you start seeing the struggles, it becomes magnified. And also it affects winning, right? Like, you hate to see in a good game a guy stops and complains to a referee and then give up a layup on a 5-on-4 because of that. And it's like, in basketball is a game of inches. You lose by 1 point, 2 points in a game because you give up possessions after possession after possession, worrying about referees. And this has kind of been somewhat of Luka's makeup over his career. He's always been criticized for the ref complaining, and we were hoping every season that he comes into that, he would adjust and he would kind of change it a little bit and try to stay off of the referees. And there was an effort there at one point, but then you kind of revert back to it. And so, I don't know that it's unwatchable, but at some point, it's going to get to a point where it's going to be magnified, and that's going to be something that we continue to talk about with Luka, and he's too much of a great player for that to be his calling card.
Like, if you don't like the Lakers, it's awesome. Like, it's awesome to watch because you're just like, keep whining while you're standing back there. But if you're a Lakers fan,
unwatchable is a little aggressive.
That's
he
a little
still
aggressive.
Drops dimes, and he still does special stuff on the court. That is fun to watch.
It's annoying.
It's annoying.
It's
like,
grating.
it's a little bit. It's just a little eye rolly. Like, oh my God, he's doing it again. Like, and again.
Can't help himself.
Like, last night there was the play where they reviewed the foul on Carter when he shot the three, and he's lucky after they reviewed it they didn't reverse the call to a foul on him because he kicked him. Like, he created the contact. And what's funny is on the review, it was just a no call because I guess they were looking at the hand, but I'm like, they could have easily just made an offensive foul on Luka. So, like, you got to be careful what you wish for sometimes with the whole review thing and riding them because video doesn't lie.
No.
And you can get exposed. Like, that's what I never understood. When the ball's out of bounds clearly off you and they go off on the ref, it's like, don't you know that they could just see this on
what
replay
is that about?
Some of it is performative.
For
you
who?
know?
What's not fun?
Well, for your team and your bench, because you don't want to be embarrassed that something happened, and so you're kind of performing like you got fouled or something happened. But a lot of the times, you know good and well that it's probably your fault. That whatever happened.
1 million.
Yeah, and so it kind of muddies the waters sometimes when you see guys like so passionate about it, then they turn around and do this, and you just watch coaches like, no, I'm not burning my time out on this. And so some of it is performative, and sometimes guys genuinely think they do have a case. But no, it's trying to, it's a lot of different things that work there. You're trying to convince the ref, you know, that hopefully you can get them to change something to go your way, and the other half of it is performative.
When you see someone do this, like in the first play of the game, I'm like
I want to turn off the TV.
You can't think I'm going to burn a timeout now.
You don't think I'm going to use my challenge 6 seconds into the game.
And you're right. Eye roll is a great description, because that's what we're all doing. We're all like, are you kidding me right now?
Enough.
Another game happened last night. I don't know what's going on in New York, but
yikes.
Kudos Cleveland. This is a blowout win, 109-94. They're 6-1, by the way, with Mr. Harden in that lineup. Donovan Mitchell, 23. He was 11 of 14. Jalen Brunson had 20. He was 6 of 19. They outscored, Cleveland did, New York 23-11 in the third quarter. And P.S., Lou, 3 of the Knicks' 6 worst losses of the season have come in these last 8 games. 38
They are a
to the
team of
Pistons.
runs, by the way.
Well,
My God.
But here's what's there's like twofold, right? One, we all look to New York as being contenders coming up. 2, as soon as Cleveland got James Harden, they jumped up in the odds to be the favorite. So then you put these two things together in a game like this, and you see Cleveland win the way they did. Look, New York Knicks fans they're not known to be subtle, and they're probably not being very quiet today. What's the problem here?
Well, last night that game was lost in the third quarter.
Dear Lord.
They had just had an awful shooting night, and we just talked about it with the Lakers. You can't allow your offense to dictate your defense. I felt like they kind of hung their heads after they didn't have a great third quarter game, and they just went out and didn't try to defend anybody, and they threw the white flag in. You know, as far as the 3 out of their 6 being tough losses, we don't really look at those. Like it's no good way to lose, right? And so when you look at the New York Knicks, they're the type of team when they lose. They lose. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Doesn't matter if it's by 1 game winner or by 12.
Yeah, like when they lose, it's a glaring loss because you can see what's going on, and that's why you can look at that game last night, look at that third quarter that they had, and the way that they shot the basketball. And Cleveland just made them pay for it every time. They'll shoot a shot, it doesn't go their way, miss basket, hang their head, so don't hustle back on defense. And Cleveland made them pay for it in the transition, and they kind of start styling on them in that game. You know, if you shoot 3 for 24 from the field, you almost can't get a layup to go. and you can't have that identity of a team if you're the New York Knicks, especially if you want to be a title contender. But no, I'm not panicking, and I'm not looking at it bigger than what it is. They're still in a great position, even though they're tied for third and fourth, and they can possibly slide a little bit if they don't get their act together. But I think what's important for them is going into the playoffs, they need to remain a home court advantage basketball team. And if they don't do that, we're looking at a completely different outcome for the New York Knicks. And so I don't look at this bigger than what it is because the amount of points that they lose by, but they got to tighten up a lot of screws.
Wow. I mean, it feels panicky to me.
11 points.
I wouldn't say yet.
11 points in 12 minutes.
How about panic-ish? Are you starting to feel things?
It's kind of, your hands might be a little sweaty.
Okay, there you go.
Your hands might be a little clammy, you know.
11 points in a quarter with Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns on the floor. It doesn't really make sense. And
that's on pace for a 44-point game. 3
for 24 from the field, like that's tough to do. And again, it's not like the Cavs are this defensive juggernaut, like clamping. Like so, this is just a real bad quarter. And again, I think everything, just like the Lakers, everything is exposed in New York, right? So like when they go on, and they've been on some roller coaster rides this year where it's they'll lose 6 out of 10, then they'll win 8 straight. Do you think they have it figured out? Right when you think they have it figured out, they revert back to where they just were 2 weeks ago. So this team is very confusing. This quarter was really bad, but I think it's more impressive on Cleveland. Like Cleveland, after the start that they had, they have the same record as the Knicks now.
I mean,
like that's crazy to me.
It is. By the way, I had to double check this. Karl Anthony Towns took 5 shots total.
And 14 points. That's what I'm saying. You can't do that. You cannot take 5 shots.
Well,
I mean, he made all 5. I mean, that
He was efficient. That makes it even worse that he made all 5 of them.
That's actually more confusing
That makes it.
to me.
I was about to say that makes it 100 times worse.
5 shots,
to go
4 free throws.
Yeah, to go 5 for 5, but some of that isn't his responsibility. You gotta listen. Mike Brown got to find him more shots.
What's going on?
Your point guard got to find you more shots. You got to demand more shots. Everybody can share responsibility in him not getting more than 5 shots, but your second best player on the team, totally unacceptable, especially in the game like this. If nobody is going to make shots and you're the one person that can, I'm demanding the basketball. So that's something that Mike Brown and Cat, they got to look at each other and say we got to be better as a collective if we're going to continue to move forward.
Mitchell Robinson took more shots than him.
Yeah, that's
like,
yeah. In what world?
In what world,
today's
Lou
world.
asks and demands.
It doesn't make sense.
You know what sucks about this is I think most of us were very puzzled by the firing of Tom Thibodeau. And I think most of us like Mike Brown. So now we're in this weird situation where it would be easier if it was a guy we didn't like, but you're sitting there going, why'd you fire Tibbs, man?
It feels like this has been rocky since jump, right? I can't unhear the comments Cat made right before the season started about the training camp and not knowing his role. So I feel like that has stuck with me, and that has been just this inconsistent kind of vibe with the Knicks all season long. And yes, they've looked great throughout times. They look great in Vegas in the tournament. They look great in certain runs. And they can, it's crazy how polarizing they are, where they can look like one of the better teams in contender, and they can look like one of the worst teams on the very next quarter.
They have no gray area.
So they have to find a way to be consistent. They have to find a way to put this all together and not go on these skids, because again, the Eastern Conference is as bad as we thought they were going to be, and they could easily fall out of a home court advantage and be in real trouble going up against a Toronto or a Philly in the first round. Like, it's not going to be easy for them, no matter who they draw at the inconsistent rate that they're going. But they're just way too talented to have this type of season.
Who do you think's under more pressure to advance, the Cavs or the Knicks?
Cavs for me.
Yeah,
Really?
Cavs I think are a better team. I think they have higher expectations. I think they will. I think they like.
I would have gone New York on that.
Well, I say the Cavs, one, because of you can see the potential in where they were going.
Also
and
the
so
favorite,
now,
from
I know, but still.
Yeah, from last year, what they were able to do, then coming back into this season with the expectation level of, okay, then how do you guys respond to the season and how it ended? They have that pressure on them, and then you also go out and get James Harden at the deadline. That says that you're making a run right now to go out and be a contender and try to go out and win the East when you go get a player like James Harden. So for me, it's got to be the Cleveland Cavaliers. But to their credit, 6-1 since they've gone out and had that trade, and they're showing and they're proving right now. So the pressure is on them, and they're responding to it.
I'll tell you this: I'd be very surprised if Cleveland lost to Toronto in the first round. I'd be like, wow, that's bad.
Fair.
If New York lost to Philly or Orlando in the first round, I'd be like,
that's crazy.
makes sense. Like, I wouldn't be that shocked.
It shouldn't be like that, but
Which is crazy.
You know,
I would be way less
dynamic.
shocked if New York lost.
Is that because of these crazy lopsided losses?
I think so.
Because I feel like last year it was all Knicks all the time. Let's go. And
Yeah.
now it just feels not the same, which is insane to me. By the way, talking about the Cavs, they do have a fun little stretch here in the next 5 games. They play the Pistons twice, the Celtics, and the Sixers in 4 of the 5.
It doesn't get any easier.
And I mean, look, it's a great test.
It's a great opportunity for them to be resilient and respond to some of these bad losses and kind of get that bad taste out of your mouth.
No, it's the Cavs.
But I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cavs are on that stretch.
Cavs are going on the stretch. So if you're the
Well,
favorites.
by the way, 6-1 with James Harden. We're gonna see at least their battle tested. At least they get to play the best of the best with James Harden, and those games aren't out of the way. So
I'm excited about this.
Win or lose, obviously
You see
they
the
want to win
difference?
these.
I was about to say I don't know about the Knicks, but with the Cavs, I'm excited to see.
See?
So that's what I'm saying. The
Cavs,
expectation, and they're responding to it.
With the Cavs, it's a great opportunity to go and beat these teams with James Harden. With the Knicks, it's like, they better win more than half of them, or it's a problem.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like, I like this for Cleveland, because again, now they're whole. Now they added Ellis. Now they added Schroeder.
And look at Cleveland's upcoming schedule: Milwaukee, Detroit, Brooklyn, Detroit again, Boston, Philly. Man.
By the way, shout out Jared Allen. He's been
He's been
By the
playing
way,
well.
I said the addition of James Harden, that guy is going to be blessed and eat, and he is just getting spoon-fed at the rim.
Expanded.
He is the perfect big for James Harden, and so is Evan Mobley, but Jared Allen's really going to like playing with him.
I like that. I like that positive energy you're putting out there, Chandler.
But yeah, you know what? After this, 1, 2, 3, 4. After these 6 games, I think we'll really have an identity of who Cleveland is. This with James Harden.
I can't wait
with Ellis,
to be on
with
the other
Sugar
side
going
of this.
forward because this is tough. This is a stretch to really find out what they got.
The Detroit stuff's good.
It's only one on the road that's going to be tough. Obviously, the Detroit win. It's going to go in their favor because the rest of these are home games. I think Brooklyn, they win that game. But other than that, the rest of these home games, that's going to go in their favor.
I think Detroit beats them twice. I'll put $1 on it.
You think Detroit gets both?
Yeah, I'm going to put that. Yeah, because I'm full Detroit at this point.
Okay.
You're
What
on the
did you say?
bandwagon.
That's my Eastern Conference team.
Oh.
Yeah, if they're playing the Spurs, I hate
Since
them.
when?
You know Detroit's in America.
last
You know Detroit's
year.
in America, though.
You know what? Funny you should say that. What a segui you just set us up for. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, the moment you've all been waiting for. Their Team USA rosters have been finalized. We'll be right back. Oh my goodness, you can never do this too early, right, guys? Chandler is so obsessed with Team USA for 2 years from now that we had to do a whole segment on it. So, take it away.
Okay, so it's 2 years away. Obviously, a lot could change.
We could all be gone.
I think I kind of nailed it, but I also think I
you
left.
know?
I think I left a couple people off that we don't know yet. So here we go. I think Bam is a for sure. But number one, Spoelstra's a coach, and we don't really have that many bigs. So I think Bam's got to be on this team just for simple size reasons. Devin Booker, I think ESPN.
That could even change by 2028.
I was going to say, like,
100%. Devin Booker, ESPN, this is their big. They blew it by not putting him on the team. I think he's starting. I think he's going to be like the team captain.
Wow.
So I think Devin Booker is a lock. I put Jaylen Brown here. Obviously, I know the history and the issues that he's had with him, but he is a top 2, top 3 American basketball player in the world right now. So I hope they can kind of clear the air in the next 2 years because I would love Jaylen Brown on the team, and he would also probably be a starter. Cade Cunningham, I think, is the starting point guard on the team.
Face of the team.
I don't know if he's the face. I think
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards is going to be the face of the team, and Jason Tatum's going to be on like a revenge tour with his own country's team when he's on there. But I like Cade Cunningham as a starting point guard. And then this is where I got a little wonky here. I put Steph Curry and Kevin Durant instead of Tyrese Halliburton and Cooper Flagg just because I want them on this team. I think it's their last chance, obviously, to play on the Olympic team. Last Olympics, they were so good. I can't help but see Steph Curry, what he did to Serbia in that gold medal game. I need him on the team, and I think if he wants to play, I think he's a lock for them to let him play.
So they'll be, what, both 39-ish?
So those would be the 2 vets I have on the team. Then moving to the right side, I got Jalen Duren. He's obviously solidified himself as a big, probably the starting center on the team. Anthony Edwards, starting 2 guard on the team. Chet, backup big. Tyrese Maxey, Jason Tatum, and I put Con Knipple just because there's always got to be that just sniper shooter that comes off the bench. The 3-point line is much closer. It's a mid-range jumper for him. We were talking about
immediately people are like, I don't see
world
the other
basketball.
guy.
And again, so if Kevin Durant or Steph Curry are out, I think Cooper Flagg is the next one in. But Con, just his shooting ability, I think is going to be great for Team USA. And we will get gold once again, Beadle.
Yeah.
You say so.
I like your group, and we had a lot of different picks, but a lot of similarities at the same time.
Okay.
And of course, let's say it again. Let's reiterate it. A lot can change from 2028
100%.
with this USA basketball team. But if we're making these predictions now based on what guys are doing into the future, then that's going to be a different thing. So I'll start with mine. Jaylen Brown in 2028, I think he will be a USA team representative because he's going to be one of the top players. He's one of my OGs at that time. By this time comes around, he's going to be one of the older statesmen along with his teammate Jason Tatum, also on my list. Cade Cunningham, obviously, is going to be one of the best players in the world come that time. Kevin Durant is going to be the Team USA old man at that time. He's slightly younger than Steph Curry, so Steph didn't make my list. I think what Steph did in the last Olympics, that makes him a one and done. I don't think
That's a good point. Go out like that.
Yeah, go out with a bang. Go out with a bang. So I don't have Steph Curry on my list. I think he's one and done. Jalen Duren is going to be another guy that I think at that point he's going to be a great addition to this team because we're going to need some size and some length in the paint. Anthony Edwards, obviously, he's going to be entertaining. He's going to be international. This thing is going to go global. ATL is going global with Anthony Edwards being on this team. Cooper Flagg is going to blossom into a star in the next couple of years. He's going to obviously represent Team USA. Tyrese Halliburton is going to be back on his feet, healthy again. I think he's going to be the 1 and the 2, one of those guys that's going to be able to play this time in the Olympics opposed to the last time. So I feel like he's going to bring himself back into this fold to have an opportunity to really show and prove who he is on a global stage. Chet Holmgren is another guy that's going to represent us listen, when you're on one of the best teams in the league and you're possibly on a run for a dynasty, somebody is going to have to represent Team USA, and that's another guy that's going to give us some size there. Brandon Ingram is another one. I think he's really turning the page in his career and what he's able to do. I think he takes this all-star run, he turns that into another 2 or 3 runs before this, another couple runs before this Olympics, and he represents us as well. Evan Mobley is another guy. In the international game, you need somebody that's going to be able to space the floor, that's going to be able to be aggressive, and can play from the three-point line all the way to the rim, and give you some mobility at that size with how the international game is played. So I like Evan Mobley on my team as well. Jason Tatum, obviously, is going to be another Team USA representative. Similar to Tyrese Halliburton. For whatever reason, Steve Kerr didn't find minutes for him. This is a redemption story for Jason Tatum to go out and show and prove to the world how great of a player he is. And Jalen Williams is another guy. Sometimes, like Chandler just mentioned, you need a sniper on a team in a KNICKS. You also need glue guys. You need guys that's going to keep everything together, that's going to do the intangibles, and Jalen Williams represents that for me. So that's my 2028 predictions for my USA basketball team.
You guys disagreed on 5, which is more than I would have thought.
For different reasons. For fair and different reasons.
Yeah, and by the way, all these guys, I have no problem with all of them make it. And there's even the Jalen Johnsons and the Scotty Barnes of the world that I also
What are we doing?
No
How
problem.
did we not put Jalen Johnson on either one of our teams?
Because look, like it's the 12 best players in the world. Like,
I want to make a trade right now.
I also love Jalen Brunson in high-pressure situations.
Jalen Brunson also gets not even consideration of the team. He's probably the second best point guard in the NBA.
Like he relishes big
I just feel like
moments.
I feel like Tyrese Halliburton. He was on the team last Olympics and he didn't get to play, and he was such a positive vibe.
He's a cheerleader. He was the Jack Haley of the
I feel like
Olympic team.
He should, and hopefully he recovers and he's the same player he was. And Tyrese Maxey, same thing. Like, he's just so electric. He's so fast. I think Tyrese Maxey would be really good, actually, in the Olympics for us. But, yeah, Jalen, you can't go wrong with Jalen Brunson. You can't go wrong with Jalen Johnson. You have Scotty Barnes Scotty Barnes can play center for us. Like, he's that versatile, and he's that good playing against these other guys. So, listen, it's a good problem to have because we have a lot of talent.
And I was about to stress myself out about a 2-year prediction. I won't do it, but Jalen Brunson will be in this conversation, and Jalen Johnson will also be in that conversation. And we'll probably have 3 Jalens on the Team USA team. Actually,
what is the criteria? 4. Like, by the way, what is y'all's criteria? Are you just sort of like, you're not doing stats, you're just doing eye tests, just sort of what you expect?
Team basketball and guys who are willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. Obviously, all of these guys are used to having the basketball in their hands. When it comes to Team USA, you got to have guys that are willing to do other things. Not necessarily go out and score 25, 30 points. That's why you need glue guys. That's why you need guys that can shoot. That's why you need guys that can go out and defend, because it's not so much about scoring. You know, the lead scorers are probably going to average 13, 14 points. He's not going to be a 20-point per game night guy when it comes to the Olympics. So it's just about the small intangible things and addressing every single situation that you can when it comes to world play in USA basketball.
Yeah, it's definitely fit. Like, not that I agree with Steve Kerr at all not playing Tatum, but think about it. Tatum didn't play and Derek White did, because I think he thought Derek White would do all those little things and be low maintenance and not an ego. And he's not a top 10, top 5 player in the NBA like Jason Tatum is. So it's almost easier to ask him to do the little things like a Tayshaun Prince back in the day that played for Team USA. Like, so someone like that just will fit. So I think we do have a lot of guys like that are can plug and play type guys. We know we're going to be the most athletic team on the floor. We know we're going to be the most talented team on the floor, but you have to find shooting and fit guys like KNICKS, like these other guys that we mentioned, to kind of be those role players that they're not used to being on their normal NBA team.
Is there a guy on either one of y'all's rosters that's going to be the dude that's not playing, that we talk about after the fact, that's like, nah, he didn't play?
He's the one that gets snubbed, like Tatum?
He gets Tatumed.
Well, it depends. Like, I think like Tyrese Maxey, I don't know how. Like, I don't know how he'd play, right? Like, especially if Steph is on the team, he's going to play. Like,
and by the way, for the record, Mark Spears said that Steph is very interested.
That's what I'm saying. If Steph and KD are on the team, you think they're going to be not playing?
No. Oh, no.
So they're playing. So that means a really good young guard and a really good young wing are probably not going to play much.
Imagine Spoelstra's like, you two take it easy. We're not going to need you.
Kevin Durant's not going to take up a spot on the team to not play. So if him and Steph are on the team, they are starting and they are playing, which means there's some really good players coming off the bench not playing as much as they thought they were going to play.
It'll just be fun. You'll get cool merch.
Jaylen Brown's the biggest thing. They have to figure out Jaylen Brown. Let it go.
There's not much to figure. Thank you.
Let it go and let him put him on the team.
It's not much to figure out.
I don't know exactly all the details, whether it's him, his side, or USA side, or the shoe deal, or whatever.
The other side, I assume.
Put him on the team and let it go. Let bygones be bygones, because he is dead nice, and we need him on the team.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. It's definitely not his fault.
He's the type of dude I feel like he's going to go get some citizenship somewhere else, though, and really stick it to us.
I mean, that would be amazing.
You would love that play.
Go to France.
Like the Thompson
Do you have any French
The Thompson
anywhere?
twins are pursuing Jamaica. Cat, we
Get
lost.
23andMe and see what you got.
Oh, wait,
Yeah, but you
Joel-
know what? You gained Embiid.
How about Joel Embiid, by the way? We didn't even put him on there.
Yeah.
Well, it's 2 years from
Well,
now.
it's 2 years from now.
So we're just we're on the negative
got
side of that
options.
one. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna take a quick break. Bleacher Report put out their list of the most overrated players, and did they nail it? We'll go over that next. Your mic. All right, we got a Bleacher Report list. I love a list. It's their top 10 most overrated players in the league. And there it is, ladies and gents, led at the #1 spot by one Draymond Green. What do you think about this?
Here's the thing. I think these guys are just older. I think they're
this goes back
injured. I don't know if they're overrated now because they're not even really rated high in the top players in the NBA. So that's no knock to them, but like
Just where they are.
that's where they are in their career. This is what you kind of turn into. And a lot of these guys are more expectation type guys, like a DeAndre Ayton is the #1 pick that we thought was going to be Shaq, and he's not. I don't know if that makes him overrated. Anthony
It
Davis.
does. That's exactly
hurt.
what it does.
Draymond Green, just older. Porzingis, whatever he's got going on. Like
Overrated.
Tyler Hero's not overrated. He's just not available, and he's just hurt. Like
So he's overrated.
You can't overrate. You can't
I don't know- I
overrate
don't know how to-
guys
I don't
that
wanna
aren't necessary.
You can overrate for a variety of factors.
What are they
right?
overra-
Expectations,
Paid.
salary.
Yeah, salary.
People 100% are gonna do that. Availability.
so,
when they are on the
Draymond
court,
Green.
like-
So
You
Draymond
can't
Green is a
overrate a guy
first.
based on availability.
yes, you can.
Draymond Green. Draymond
I
Green is a
can.
first ballot Hall of Famer. Now he's overrated just because he's at the end of his career.
Well, I think there are some that would argue that, first of all, Draymond's the most polarizing one on there because
I
he's
know,
been a
but-
part of an epic run.
But was
Right,
he?
so
So I don't-
he can be overrated with 4 championships and never being the best player on his team, but being the glue guy on that team.
There's probably
That
a
is
little bit of
positive-
dislike there,
That is
too.
dislike and overrated are 2 completely different
He's
things.
pretty much the same player he's always
Draymond
been.
Green
They're
has
just
done
not
his
one.
job, by the way.
I'm okay with
So
that.
you can't overrate somebody who's done their job to the T. So I don't agree with
He's
that.
pretty much the same player.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
First ballot.
Absolutely.
He's already, by the
See,
way,
I think
he's
people would
the
argue that.
same player he's always been. It's just Steph
Yeah.
Curry's not Steph Curry that we used to be. Klay Thompson's not there anymore. They're not that team anymore. They're not winning.
Wait.
So now he's getting exposed. I'm saying,
So no
he does-
one on this list to you guys is overrated.
No.
There's a
No, like Anthony,
What?
you can't say Anthony Davis is
can't.
over. You can't say he's overrated because when he is available, he's one of the best players in the game.
like Zion.
But
That's
that's
not
part
an
of the
overrate.
problem as like a viewer. You're just like, this person is supposed to be doing this, this, and that. They're never available to do it. So by definition, I'm
Beadle,
sorry, you're a
you
little
can't say a
overrated.
restaurant is overrated because it's always closed.
I
But
100%
when it's
can.
open,
If it's a
and
Michelin star
amazing
restaurant,
food.
no, I 100%
And when it's
can.
amazing food, that's not an overrated restaurant.
It's
It's just
overrated.
always closed.
It's overrated because it's never open when it says it's
That was
going to be
good.
open.
You
That was
like
really
that?
good.
No, I hate it.
I like what you're doing there. like Zion's not overrated to me. He's just hurt. Like he just can't stay healthy. When he's on the floor, that dude is
So
not
this
overrated.
is an interesting moment for the three of us because
you
you
know
guys are
what?
players and I'm not, and I'm telling you,
Like,
as a viewer, I'm like, you're never around. You're
That
not as
doesn't-
good as they
so
say.
you guys should find another word. Overrated isn't
Okay,
the word.
let's work
like
on that.
D'Angelo Russell's overrated. He's not. He doesn't even play. How is he overrated?
Why doesn't he play?
Because he's, but that doesn't mean he's overrated.
But
He's
why
just not
doesn't
the
he
player
play?
he used to be.
Oh,
Kyle,
but there
Kyle
you go.
Kuzma is not the Kyle Kuzma from LA anymore. Whether that's personally, whether that's situational, whether that's statistics or salary, whatever. He's not overrated. He just is where he is in his career. It's not like I don't.
This is an interesting split. I kind of like this, that you guys see it one way and I see it a completely different way. I think that's a big difference between fans and players. Like, we're like
Tyler
no.
Hero is overrated. The guy, if he plays tonight,
Yes.
he'll have 30. How
And
is
you
he
heard
overrated?
The
Overrated.
difference between players and fans.
Exactly.
I like my opinion way better.
Oh, I think yours is awful.
Tyler Hero. Did you hear me?
I think it works.
Tyler Hero, if he played tonight, he'd have 30.
Would he?
How is he overrated?
That's
he's
not
not playing
overrated.
tonight.
That's what I'm
He's-
saying.
he's
If
unbelievable.
Anthony Davis played tonight, he would
I'm
have
going to take
30.
a poll of the crew.
All
Guys,
these guys.
Call,
just at
call,
different
call
places in
Anthony
their
Davis
career.
injury prone. Call him whatever. He is not overrated. When he plays basketball, he is elite. If he played tonight and he was fully healthy, he'd have 30 and 15 and 6. He's not overrated.
maybe we
he's
do need to come
highly
up with a different
paid.
word. How about
he's
disappointing? How about underwhelming? Underwhelming.
Sure, but
That's better.
We could do
if
underwhelming.
you can do underwhelming, cool. But us, 6 of these guys, we're 2 or 3 years late from having this conversation.
I
They've
do
al-
find that interesting.
Yeah,
There's
they've
some on
already
here that are
settled
like,
into where
Listen.
they are in their careers.
There's one guy on this list that
Here we go.
he's made a lot of money and he hasn't really.
Triple J.
Yes, like he.
Okay.
That would be the one
that's
guy I could maybe say, okay, this guy's made a shit
he's
ton
young.
of money.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be this guy, and he hasn't really reached like that expectation of him. But
And
again,
he's still getting the opportunities to be that player.
that would be the one guy maybe, but also like he's still also really, really good.
Yeah, like if
so,
Kyle Kuzma is still getting featured on a team.
yeah, he's not.
And he's not performing at that level, you can make a case for overrated. But that's not what it is. They're putting him on a team as a role player next to great players at this point in his career. Now, what was his expectation or those things when he came out of the draft? We're talking about years ago. So
Back nine. We're all in the back nine here.
overrated is
Like Porzingis is overrated. He just got
not wrong.
traded to the Warriors for a guy that wasn't playing. Like, how can he be overrated?
Because he just got traded to the Warriors for a guy that isn't playing. So where's the value in that?
But what is he
doesn't overrate you.
rated to make him overrated?
Because here's the problem with this, right? Part of this is I think some of us are still stuck in the hype that once was, or like Kristaps Porzingis at one point was.
But what we're
that's
saying
what we're
is,
doing.
when we start
Unfair.
having a conversation
It's not
about
reality.
when
I
we
agree.
start rating players, Porzingis is probably not going to be in the top 15 to 20 players.
100%.
So you can't say he's overrated if he's not part of the rate.
Top 15. He won't be a top 50.
No,
so
I don't
how is
even-
he?
don't-
I'm just saying, how is he overrated?
Relax. What I'm saying.
I mean, he might be right though.
If
What
he's
I'm
not
saying
the top
is,
50 players in the NBA, how
if
is
we
he
were
overrated?
to rate players, and he wouldn't be in the 15 to 20, but he is, then you can overrate. But if you're not even getting rated, you can't be overrated.
Let me ask you a question.
So I'm not trying to disrespect any of
who
these
rates?
guys,
Like,
but
if
what
you-
we're saying is they've just kind of settled into where they are in their careers. And it's still, some of these guys are still
A
young
lot of
enough
injury
where
on that list, by the way. There's
A lot of
injury.
At
on
this
that
point of Kyle Kuzma's career, is he a top 100 player in the NBA? Top
100?
75 player in the NBA?
No.
well,
So-
your numbers are getting more outrageous.
I'm saying
Yeah,
top seven.
counting the 75
Let's
is a
say
lot.
a top
Like, I can't.
60.
I'm just saying. It's just,
Whatever it is, whatever the number is, how could he possibly be overrated when he's not rated in the top 50, 60, 70? Again, that's not a knock to him. He just is where he is at this point of his career, and it's not realistic to call him overrated.
all in all, we don't agree with Bleacher Report.
Like, Tyler Hero has one good season away again from being underrated. Like,
Tyler Hero got paid a buku money, and so
Everybody
people are
does.
just like,
He's been
That's
hurt.
my point, though.
No,
when you
he's
see
but
it.
he's been hurt.
Right.
Beadle. If he's available and he's on the floor and he's not performing, then yes, you have a case. But when he got that money, he deserved it.
I agree,
That
but I'm
doesn't
telling
overrate
you
you.
how
when
we're
Joel
how we
Embiid
look
was
at it.
hurt, he wasn't
And I'm
overrated.
telling
He
you,
was just
y'all need a
hurt.
new lens.
But some of us look at that and go, we never get to see him play anyways. Overrated. Like that's kind of how bar talk is.
well,
We're just
y'all.
like overrated.
Well,
I don't think
also,
it's the right
fun to say
term.
overrated. I think underwhelming is better than overrated.
Yeah, like Zion Williamson
Be
is not
honest.
overrated. Maybe it's underwhelming. Maybe it's
Yeah.
something else. But that man is not overrated. at
Yeah,
we
basketball.
wanted more and we didn't get it.
yeah, we're not.
That's all that is.
We're not rolling.
But
though.
he is unreal at basketball. He's not overrated. He's just
I love this. This is such a difference in. I wonder how all the other shows and stuff will handle this. today with
DeAndre
players
Ayton
versus-
being the #1 pick. The expectation and the outside noise that we've created is that he should be this.
Yeah.
But he's never been that. So how is he overrated? Just because of where he started off in the draft?
that is part of it, sure.
That's not who he is. That's not who
it.
is.
Right.
Just telling you. Like I don't shoot the messenger. I'm just
Yeah.
here representing.
Well,
Break.
Are we going to break? What are we doing next? Are we still going? Oh, we're going to keep going. I was like, I can talk about this forever. Jeff Teague said that Kawhi's at his peak, same level as Kevin Durant, Lou. What do we think, Greg?
I can agree with that. There's an elite class of guys in the NBA, and Kawhi Leonard is one of them. But we talked about availability. Injuries have been a part of his
Overrated.
a part of his career. But when available,
The best.
Kawhi Leonard is one of the best players in the world. So you can't make a case for him
Can't.
not being peak case. Y'all are crazy. But I'm glad this came up right after that. But,
It is a good one, actually.
Yes, when available, when on the floor, he's one of the best players in the world. He's top 10 no matter how you cut it. So I'm agreeing with Jeff Teague right here. He didn't say anything wrong.
It's crazy because like a couple of years ago, we would have said he's overrated. Now, like,
100%.
now he's back. It's like, no, he's just healthy.
You know,
He's
you could
just
be
like-
overrated and then come back.
Sure,
And
but
vice
I will
versa.
to comment on this. I think he's unbelievable. I think he's probably like the 5th best small forward of all time. I think he's a notch below Kevin Durant.
Even at his peak.
Yes.
Like his peak, okay.
I think it's LeBron is a notch above
God, I
Kevin
don't know,
Durant.
man.
Kevin Durant's a notch above Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard, like 2019.
But he's unbelievable. Like, by the way, we're
was a
talking
force
5th
to be
best,
reckoned
4th
with.
best ever.
Yeah, what does that
We
look
just
like
haven't
to you?
seen a consistent 3, 4, 5 year run.
I mean, that's
of
fair.
being able to. But every time he is out there and he's available and he's healthy, he is one of the top players in the world. And that showed. Toronto made a trade mid-season. He's the only person that said, hey, just so y'all know, I'm not coming back, but we're going to win a championship. And he still left and he celebrated.
That's the greatest story to me.
Yeah, that's peak level with everybody else.
It's an assassin. You brought in an assassin. He's like, I'll be here for a minute, and did what he was going to do, and that was it. Boom.
LeBron, Kevin Durant,
Okay.
Larry Bird, Kawhi Leonard, Scottie Pippen.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you feel societal pressure to add Larry Bird, or have you actually watched a lot of tape?
I've seen all his games.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. We're going to take a quick break. Some happy news on the other side. Kuminga made his debut. We're going to look at that next. You liar. I love a good story. This is one. Jonathan Kuminga, big debut last night with the Hawks. Scored season high, of course, 27 points, 9 of 12 from the field, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. This is what we're kind of waiting to see. Is it going to look funny when he's good? And here we go.
It's basically what he did on the Warriors.
Yeah.
When he played. Now he's just doing it on the Hawks. I think it's an unbelievable fit. When you put him and Jalen Johnson together and that kind of just
ass out the way, Brian.
Wing core moving forward, like the Hawks are on to something. I love the fact that they're going to believe in Jonathan Kuminga. I'm not going to be surprised when he re-ups.
He's not going to come off the bench for long, by the way.
Longer deal. And again, just like, can you picture a better scenario if you're Aaron Turner or you're Jonathan Kuminga and you go after 27, you win, and the same night the Warriors lose to the Pelicans?
Oh, that'll be forever for him. Forever.
This day couldn't get better for Kuminga, so bravo, bro. Congrats.
Woo-hoo!
You looked happy, you looked free, and I think there's going to be a lot of good basketball in his future.
Lou, is his joy back?
I love it. I love it for Atlanta, honestly. You know, when you trade Trae Young and you're kind of looking towards the future and you can see some bright spots in Jalen Johnson and my boy Alexander Walker and all of those guys, you can kind of see it, and then you add Jonathan Kuminga to that mix, and you're a basketball fan and you've heard the stories, you've heard the narratives about him, and then he comes to your team and he makes a debut like this. You gotta love it, man. So he looked happy, he looked joyful. Atlanta got a big W last night. I don't think he's gonna be able to come off the bench for long for this team. But even if he does, he gives them depth at that bench spot. It's a great mix for him.
Yeah, he ain't coming off the bench for much longer. But think about Ricochet, Kuminga, Johnson, Dyson Daniels. Like those are
Alexander Walker's a guy that we don't mention enough.
Like those are 4 or 5 elite two-way defending athletic wings. Then Atlanta's onto something. And again, I think their guard play with McCollum and is solid. Okongwu at center spot. Like I nailed that, Okongwu.
Yeah,
I think they got better.
But then he got stuck.
I played with him and it took me a whole season to get it.
I think they got better. I think they need to add a legit starting point guard. But I mean, this team, again, I thought they were going to make that step this year, but next year with that core that I just mentioned.
Well, what is a point guard these days?
I was going to say, I don't even know what that means.
You know.
By the way, for the rest of Kuminga's career, will always be look at the Warriors right after you look at his. It's forever. He's now attached
100%.
forever. It's like the Trae Young Luka thing, like the forever.
The remainder of this season, if he knocks it out of the park, I think he wipes that away from his history.
He does, but we will never. We're always going to be like, come on, look what happened there. By the way, real quick, Thunder Pistons, Celtics, Nuggets tonight.
Good games.
Yeah.
Thunder Pistons. Wow, that's a good game. By the way,
even with certain guys not playing, it's still
guys
good.
out, yeah.
Them going Spurs Thunder is wow. Pistons favored by 8. I don't know about that.
It seems high, actually. Yeah. That does seem high.
I like the matchup. Well, there's a lot of injuries.
I know,
There's a lot of injuries. I'm sure that plays a part. But I like the matchup. A lot of toughness on both sides. I look forward to it.
Give me OKC plus 245 for the upset.
Wow, okay.
I'm going for Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit's winning.
I'm going for Detroit.
Duh.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
Team Detroit.
Tune in.
Tune in. We will be back tomorrow. Enjoy your Wednesday.
Who was the second game? Philly?